classification of human values. There are three ways of classifying the human values. The first one is to divide them between terminal values versus the instrumental values. That's one way of classifying them. The second one is to divide them into intrinsic values versus extrinsic. The third way is to divide them as individual values versus institutional values. ध्यान से देखो, terminal values are those values which are end in themselves. These values are ends that we are looking for. Something which is used in the context of reaching to something or to attain something. It's a device or an instrument to attain something else. Instrumental values are the means by which we attain the ends. Do you get it? Like say for example, a terminal value would be like say for example, wisdom. Wisdom is a terminal. Do you understand that? Means would be say for example, meditation. Do you get it? Meditation is the tool to attain wisdom. Buddha's aim was meditation or nirvana. And what was meditation then? Why was he meditating? Was meditation valuable for him? Yes, it was valuable for him, but as a means to achieve an end. And what was the end? Nirvana. You understand that? Can I also say then very conveniently, can I also put this forward then? Terminal values are always higher values. Can I say that? And instrumental values lose their value the moment we reach to terminal values. Do you understand that? Once Buddha attained nirvana, then meditation had served its purpose. Intrinsic value versus extrinsic value. To understand this, think of this. Suppose I have a piece of metal. It could be any metal. And the value of this piece is 500 rupees. That's the value of this metal piece. And I have a rupee 500 currency note as well. Now prima facie, this metal piece and this note looks similar, isn't it? They both have what value? 500 rupee. Do you get it? But this has intrinsic value. Intrinsic value means real value. Whereas this one has extrinsic value. It means face value. It does not have any real value. It is just a piece of paper. And it is valuable because it has a guarantee. And guarantee is given by the governor of the RBI that I promise the bearer of this currency note a value of this much. Do you get it? If I remove the, say for example, the governor's signature, will it have any value? No. Do you understand that? So it has only extrinsic value. It means value in appearance or face value. But suppose over this metal piece it is carved rupees 500. If I remove that, will it still be worth of rupees 500? It will still be worth. Suppose it's gold, it will still be worthy. You understand that? Similar, intrinsic values are those values that are complete. It means independently they shine. They don't require any backing or underlying asset. Do you get it? Whereas extrinsic values are those that gain value when they are attached to values which are intrinsic in nature. Like say for example, this 500 rupee has to be backed with some asset of the RBI. Like say for example, gold and forex. Unless you have gold and forex reserves, the currency might not have much of a value. Do you get it? But this piece of gold will be valuable in isolation as well. Do you get it? So like say for example, again in this case you can think of, like say for example, dedication and excellence. Do you get it? Like say for example, think of hard work and then happiness. So happiness is complete in itself. Now there could be a slight confusion between what is the difference between terminal values and intrinsic values then? एक ही चीज है, बस देखने का नजरिया अलग. The perspective is different, thing is same. Terminal values are those values to which we want to reach or where we want to go. It means these are the end points of our value journey. Intrinsic values are those values which have worth in themselves, which are complete in themselves. They do not require anything else to give them value. Like say for example, think of say for example intelligence. Intelligence without wisdom is of no use. But once you say wisdom, it is assumed that intelligence to hoga. Do you understand that? Instrumental values are our means. Intrinsic values are those which can sustain without the extrinsic values. Extrinsic values are those which cannot sustain without the intrinsic value. They are complete in themselves. They attain meaning only when they are attached to the intrinsic values. Then individual values and how they are different from institutional values. Simple. Individual values are those values which are held by the individual. Institutional values are those values which are held by the institution. But individual values impact institutional values and institutional values impact individual values. Like say for example, there is a particular person X and now he becomes the Minister of Social Justice and Women Empowerment. Suppose that's the ministry that this person is now manning. He will come into the ministry with some of his values that he believes in. Do you understand that? Like say for example, justice. And when he comes into the institution has its own vision statement, mission statement, value statement, that what we stand for. Do you understand that? Those values will also impact the individual. What would happen? There would be a churning of values and the result would be a synthesis of values. And the synthesis of value will then impact the individual as well as the institution. So like say for example, whoever becomes the President of United States of America cannot move away from the principles and the standards that Abraham Lincoln set for the president. Similarly, in India's case, whoever can become the President of India, but the undeniable impact that Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam left, it's very hard to replace that.